Yeah.
All right. So one thing that I do want to, express is when you are shooting, whether it be from a target or at an animal, one thing that I really urge you guys to do is to pick a spot. And what I mean by that is get your pin settled on a very specific spot. Whether if you're shooting on a target like this at a 3D, and maybe it'd be a spot where you had an arrow hit on a dark target and you can just see a brown spot, or maybe you're looking at a deer and a live deer and you see a tuft of hair. Aim small, miss small, aim big, miss big. I think it's if you can keep your mind focused on something, and you have your form and your shot process down, your groups and everything will take care of themselves, and they'll get smaller and smaller as you consistently shoot. So that's another big tip: is just consistently shoot. Practice doesn't make perfect. Perfect practice makes perfect. So practice the right way. So with that being said, I'll show a perfect example. Is if you guys look at this hog, and hopefully we'll be able to see it, you can actually see a brown spot right in the middle of that kill of that hog, and that is a perfect aiming spot, perfect spot to take a look at and get some shot reps in. So we're going to aim for that, and hopefully with any luck we can actually hit it. Hopefully my arrows aren't in the way of the camera here. That arrow was not flying like I wanted it to. That'd still be a kill, but I think I need to take off my binoc harness here in a second. That'd be a dead hog. I mean, those are not bad shots. They're still 100% lethal. Might just need to. Oh. Full discretion. If you guys are looking, I bumped my sight, and I don't know how you can see that. So we're at about 29 yards, and my pin's at 40. So I'm shooting 10 yards higher than I should be. So let's make that adjustment. Those would have been a lot better had I known that. So we're going back down to 30. We are locking our sight in. Our sight's locked in. Let's shoot that third arrow and see how much of a difference that makes. Much better. Yeah, when you guys are shooting, another thing is if you're shooting a movable sight, whether it be a floater or anything like this. This is a Spot Hog Father, if you guys are wondering what this exact sight is. Be cognizant of where your pin's floating at. Like I said, we were shooting 40 yards, and if you guys look back over my shoulder, you guys can tell that those two arrows are considerably higher than that first one. So we're going to make the adjustment, and then we're going to shoot another group. You just want your string just to touch the tip of your nose, and before you're even looking through your peep or at your sight, what I want you guys to do and try is try to get your pin right on the kill zone of your target, and then bring your head down to the string. Not bring your head down, but just put your nose just to the tip, I should say. Let me preface that. You want your head to be as straight up and down like you're having a normal conversation with someone. That way you don't get any weird, form habits. You don't bring this elbow down or elbow up. And we'll go into, how your form should look when you go across. Like I said, we're out here at 30 yards. We actually have our sight set right now. That's what a dead hog should look like. You want that type of shot all the time. That hog would be on its feet maybe 10 seconds. That's a perfect heart shot right through there, 30 yards, dead. That's what we look for. It's another really good shot. That's two right there in the heart. I always try to go for a heart shot. Lungs is obviously a taker. I have no problem shooting them in the lungs, but in the heart, it's just really easy. Looking at a deer, especially, they have such a pointy elbow. If you just put your pin right on the corner and the crease of that elbow, it's super easy to hit, and it's always lethal, and almost always you get to actually watch them die. So no tracking done when you hit them right really good in the heart or even in the lungs. So tuck this third arrow in here, and we'll get on to another tip. That's right in the heart again. That's what I'm looking for, is just those heart shots. Those would all be dead within sight. So I'm gonna go pick these up. We're gonna go through another couple tips, and then we'll just shoot some more. My next tip is probably gonna be about alignment, and what I mean by that is how your body actually physically feels when you're at full draw and you're getting ready to execute the shot. You don't want to feel any contortion in any sort of muscle or in your neck or any part of your body Contortion just means you just feel stress, you feel tension, it doesn't feel right. So with that being said, when we're at full draw, what we idealistically want is we want our arm to be bent with just a little bit of relaxed, and we want this elbow to be straight, and we should be able to draw a straight line from this bow hand that's holding my bow to my back elbow back here. If you can't do that, you're not doing something right. You don't want your elbow forward, up, down. You don't want this elbow fully extended out, and you don't want it bent up close. So you want to be nice and relaxed, elongated but relaxed. We're probably going to move it back to 40, and I'm going to give you guys a couple tips at shooting a little bit further distances. 30 is kind of like where I like to start at when I shoot, and then I just go back further. And I'll explain that when I get back after pulling these arrows and moving that target. All right, so we're out here at 40 yards. We back 10 yards up, and me personally, I like to shoot the furthest distance I can possibly get. And you're like, well, why would you do that? Well, if you're shooting at 20 and even 30 yards, a lot of your mistakes in your form won't really be noticeable until you get to 40 and out. That 10 yards difference between 30 to 40 makes a difference in my personal opinion. And obviously the further back you get, the more you'll be able to know what you're doing wrong. So with that being said, my tip for shooting long range, my number one, is just take your time. Absolute money.
Perfect shot.
That was a perfect shot. So when you're shooting, obviously that was a perfect shot. Couldn't ask for anything better. When you're shooting, pay attention to your arrow and how it flies. Obviously you don't want to take your head off the string as soon as you shoot. You want to execute and have your follow through, but pay attention to that detail. If you see your arrow kicking off to the, some wonky, left, right, up and down, and it's just not flying straight, there could be two things wrong. Most off, if your bow's set up and tuned right, it's not going to be the bow's fault. So most commonly it's probably going to be the shooter's fault. So just make those adjustments. Maybe check your hand torque, maybe check the timing of your bow and everything. And we're going to shoot these last two, and we'll get on to our other tip. That one was a little bit low. Still definitely a kill. For 100% sure that'd be right in the top of the heart, or the bottom of the heart. A little bit lower than what we like, but not too bad. Hopefully this last arrow of this group is a little bit more accurate and consistent for what we want. Boom, right there. It's two great shots. One not bad, but let's go pull those arrows, and we'll get to talking about a couple other things, and then we'll finish up with just some shooting. So we'll be right back. Hey. Dude! That arrow, I think that arrow actually went. Keep that rolling. Time out. You guys got to see this. There's no other target in there, or no other arrow in the target.
He completely missed.
Yeah. I don't think my arrow is very much like. I think 90% of it came out of the target. But it was. Alright. Go pay attention to Hunter's arrow. We can't get that out. But
What?
look at that. In the pump house, boys. Alright. I just thought that was pretty funny from 40. Yard group, 3 shots. We're gonna see how well we can tuck these in here, and then we're gonna take one group back to 60 just for the hell of it. So here we go. It's right in the heart, baby. I don't know about you, but that's a dead one. In case you guys were also curious, the bow that I'm shooting is the Hoyt Highline. I have this set at 71.5 pounds, 30.5 inch draw, and I'm shooting the RIP TKOs in a 300 spine with, this is a Mega Meat practice tip. I thought I had a field point on this. It's just the practice tip. With a 3-fletch boning heat and a lighted nocturnal G-Nock, or X-Nock, excuse me. All right, so we're out here. I hope you guys liked today's video. Just to preface all those tips, the number one thing that I can tell you guys that I really suggest is stay consistent. Do the same thing from shot to shot. The more and more you stay consistent, the better you're going to be when it comes to your shooting experience. you'll better yourself, not only when it comes to hunting, but also just target shooting, and you'll learn more about your bow and more about your shooting habits, and you'll just better yourself. So stay consistent. Remember, always start from the feet up. Get that footing going to that grip, that anchor point, and then actually find your acquired target in your sight before you even go through your full shooting process. So we're gonna shoot this last arrow at 30 yards, and we will see you guys later. I hope you guys loved today's video, because we got plenty more coming, baby. Let's go. Last arrow of the day, absolute Smoke City. Send it. That's a dead pig, boys.